Hello and welcome to REI Reply CRM Workshop. I am your host, Travis Bouchonville, and today we're going to teach you how to create high volume SMS campaigns and get high delivery rates on your texts going out. So the system is actually not designed to do high volume SMS campaigns. The problem is that one user in the system is only allowed to be assigned one phone number, and one phone number can only send out between 160 to 200 texts per day. So if you send out any more than that, the phone companies are going to flag you and mark you as spam, and you're not going to be able to use that number. So as a workaround, we've discovered that we can make sub-accounts for that one user, and those sub-accounts are all assigned a phone number. So they're going to be the users that are going to be sending out texts to these contacts. And then when those contacts decide to reply to those texts, then we're going to reassign it to the main user, and it'll show up in their replied stage. Okay, so that might not make a whole lot of sense right now, but if you still have questions after the tutorial, I'd be happy to answer them on a Zoom or direct message me, and I'd be happy to answer them there. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to share screen. This is one of the sub-accounts. So I labeled the sub-account my first name, so I know it's my sub-account, and phone one. And then the email. The system does not allow you to have the same email for multiple users. So what you have to do is add a +1 before the @ symbol. And like say you had multiple sub-accounts, each sub-account after the first one would be +2, +3, and so forth. The phone number can be the same forwarding phone number that you use, that there's nothing different there. Let's go down to where it says call and voicemail settings. You have to assign this a phone number. So I assigned it Travis phone 1. Okay, let's go into my main profile, my main account. And you can see here, I do not have a number assigned to my main profile, okay? All of my sub-accounts have phone numbers assigned to them, whereas my main user account does not have a phone number assigned to it. That's very important. Let's get into a workflow and create a high volume SMS campaign. First thing that I do is I add a tag. I call it cold campaign. And then I add some notes for my VA or myself to fill out if I get in contact with someone. Now I'm going to assign every contact that comes into this workflow to these sub-accounts. So I'm just going to select Travis phone 1 and Travis phone 2, and it'll do a round robin, and it'll assign them equally for all the contacts that come into this workflow. Now this next portion is how we get very high delivery rates on our text campaigns. And what it does is it looks into your custom fields to make sure that the phone number that you're texting with is a mobile before it sends out a text. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to press on this plus symbol. There we go. And then we're going to use the if-else function. And we're going to label it mobile. So if it's a mobile number, it's going to go to the left. If it's anything other than mobile number, it's going to go to the right. Okay, I'm going to search for tags. So the tag includes phone 0. And that's why it's very important to tag all of your contacts that come in, that you import into your system correctly. Now I'm going to search my custom fields. 0 type, phone 0 type contains the word mobile. And I can do this for all of my phone numbers. So if any one of these conditions are true, it'll send it to the left to be text. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Tags includes phone 2, or no, phone 1. And phone 1 type needs to be mobile. So phone 1 type, that's my custom field, contains the word mobile. Okay, now I have to press this or down here. So what that's saying is this one, both of these need to be true for it to send it to the left, or both of these need to be true for it to send it to the left. And that's how we know that it's a mobile number. And you can do that for all of your phone numbers. So let's save that. Now anything coming to the left should be a mobile. Anything going to the right is either unknown or a landline. So here we can just start sending out texts. Then we can do a wait. Oops. Then we can do a wait. Let's say 1 day. Okay, here's just a window. It won't send unless it's between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Then we can send out another text. And I would suggest either putting this, putting a go-to at the end to go back to the top. And so it loops. So a contact never leaves the workflow. You never want it to leave a workflow, especially a cold workflow, cold calling workflow, or cold texting, because then you lose the contact. So you always want a loop or send it to another workflow to continue getting texts. You probably want a lot more text than just 2 also. Okay, let's go to if it's a landline. What I do is I do a manual call, and then I wait 16 hours. And then I do a go-to back to the top. And what this does is my VA will call the contact, say they don't get in contact with them, then this workflow will wait 16 hours and then send it back up to manual call to be called again. So again, the only way that it's going to leave this workflow is if they respond or reply, and then it's going to go into your applied stage and your lead generation pipeline. Okay, let's look at the reply trigger, because we said that if they reply, they get reassigned to my main user profile. And this is where that happens. So you can see right here, this trigger. So the workflow that we just created, they get tagged with cold campaign. And if somebody responds via SMS, this workflow is going to get triggered. So the contact's going to come down here, get tagged with lead generation and reply tags, and then they're actually going to move inside my lead generation pipeline in my replied stage. Now this is where we reassign it to your main user profile. So you'll actually get the text. So the condition is the contact assigned to Travis 1 phone, or is it assigned to Travis 2? So if either one of those are correct, it'll send it either down here or down here. And I have a go-to underneath assigned to Travis 2 tag, assigned to Travis phone 2, that just puts it in the same place. So either way, they'll get reassigned to my main user profile, and then they'll end up right where you see it. If you don't do this, they're going to have their own pipelines, and then you'll have, like in this case, 3 pipelines to look at. But if you reassign it to your main user profile, then you'll get them all in one place. Okay, so Again, if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the Zoom. Our next tutorial is going to be about follow-ups, and that's going to be a good one. So look forward to explaining that and answering some questions on that one. All right, we'll see you guys on the Zoom.